Hello everyone, welcome to the 5 Minutes PM podcast. This week I'm doing a course about change management. And why I decided to attend this? Because I noticed that there is an extremely strong relationship between success in projects and success in change management. And what I want to discuss with you this week and also in the next weeks, what I'm learning here and how you can benefit from this in your project management life. So the first thing is that if you go back to all the management books, all the leadership books, they will say that change is critically important. You need to manage change. But let's be very honest here between you and I. People hate change. People hate. It doesn't matter how good the change is for you. People hate. Why? Because our biological or mental or psychological setup is prepared for routine and not for this change. So even if you get a new job, okay, let's suppose that you were searching for a new job for a year, okay? Then you got a fantastic, perfect job, everything you wanted. What happened to you at night when you were alone? After a huge celebration that you got the job, how do you feel? You feel afraid. You feel in panic. And this is completely normal because people are afraid of the unknown. You don't know if you'll be successful, if everything will go well or bad. So it's very, very important. So because people do not like that, you need to manage it properly because the chances of things go wrong are very, very high. And change is completely needed to survive. If you are not able to adapt yourself to different circumstances, you cannot survive. And projects are exactly the way we promote change. So as a project manager, you need to even more know because you will live as a changing agent in your organization. So we need to understand that this is an emotional journey. It's not a technical rational. And let's be honest here. It's not our best strength to be emotional intelligent. Most of the PMs, they are technical people. They know very well the connections A connect to B and give C. But when people say, oh, I'm sad, I'm afraid, we have a very hard time to handle that because it's not our background. We are delivery agents. So it's an emotional journey from the old to the new. And let me share with you, IBM did a study in 2009, and they said that project success is directly related to change management. And projects that handle change management in the proper way, they had an increased success rate of 19%. So if you manage change properly, you increase your success rate. And what's the difference between project delivery and change management delivery? Project deliverables, most of the time they are clear, they are easy to understand, right? You need to build a wall, you need to build a code, you need to build a road or a bridge, whatever. Even that, we have a hard time sometimes to define. But imagine change. How I can understand deliverables? Oh, it's a smile, it's a big hug, shake hands. How do I know that the change is being well received? It's not as easy as the simple, technical, concrete deliverables. And it's very important that all this process is something like a learning journey. And I want just to share with you this week the learning dip, the concept of the learning dip. And what's the learning dip? So imagine that you have performance over time, okay? In the first stage, so let's suppose everything is fine, normal, you have a routine, okay? So there is nothing changed at that moment. What happened? You have what I call unconscious competence. You don't even think to do. I love to use the analogy with light at your home. So when you turn on your light and turn off your light, most of the time you don't think about that. You only remember about light when there is a blackout. When there is a blackout, you remember immediately, whoa, what happened? There is no light anymore. So what is important for us to understand? That the change process is exactly like this blackout. So what happened? You are in a journey. You don't think about you are competent. And suddenly you have a big dip. And this dip makes you change completely your behavior from unconscious competence to conscious incompetence. You identify immediately, oops, I'm not competent. I am not competent in these circumstances. And then what happens? Your performance goes down. Imagine that you are using your IT software. I love this, Microsoft Office. The day they change the version, it's like that, right? You identify immediately, let's say, oh, where's the button? Where's the menu? How do I do that? So then what you need to do, you need to work very hard until you go to the third stage. The third stage is conscious competence. So look, you had on the second stage a conscious incompetence. You knew that you were not competent on that new system. But now you start to become aware that you are becoming competent until you go up again to that stable pattern of the first stage. Then you just forget. So after 6 months with your new phone or with your new IT software, you become again unconscious competent. So I always love to remember when I moved to Denmark, this was exactly what happened to me. I was in a stable life in Brazil, everything fine, I knew everything. And then suddenly you take your bags and you arrive in Denmark. And you say, well, how do I do to get a handyman? How do I use the water? Where is the subway? Right? And then you feel so incompetent on that moment. Then you start learning. And now after 3 years, I don't even think I'm in Denmark because I'm so used to this new reality. But imagine that life is like this all the time. All the time you have a learning dip and then you go up. A learning dip and you go up. And next week, I want to discuss with you more about the stages of the change. It's how people behave when they face a change. So when you propose something new, how people behave on that. But this will be a topic that I want to discuss with you next week in another 5 Minutes PM podcast. See you.